you know, and I don't want to react to just sports anyways, bro, all the time, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm surprised that y'all don't get tired of that junk sometimes. You know what I mean? But anyways, man, what's good, YouTube, man? It's your boy, man, Jay Willie Silly, man, aka Mr. Tykerese. Before you end up like Beze, but make sure y'all follow my Twitch, man. Subscribe to my second channel. Everything you need to know about your boy Jay is in the description down below. We got 3 scary, true, lonely cabin horror stories for all my new subscribers and new viewers. If you want to go check out all of my scary reactions, it is in a playlist section over yonder. You know what I mean? I never understood about staying in a cabin in the woods, man. You know what I mean? See, one thing about me, I am a private person, and you know, I know a lot of subscribers know this about me. I'm a very private person. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any social media. You know, I really don't like people knowing things about me. I really don't like being around a whole lot of people. That's just how I am. But it's a such thing as being too remote. You know what I'm saying? Being too remote. I don't like being too remote. And what that means, I don't like being too by myself. Like just like out there and just no neighbors or nothing, bro. That kind of stuff just kind of freaked me out a little bit. You know what I mean? Just not having no neighbors or no people around. You know what I'm saying? No, you know, I can't do that. You know what I mean? So I just don't be understanding why people just be, you know, staying and like look at this, y'all. Look, like just staying out there like this remote, bro. You know what I'm saying? Look at this. You know what I mean? Like imagine just staying out there and just, you know, heck nah, bro. I couldn't do it. Ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna have to change this right quick. Sorry, YouTube. I'm gonna change this right back. Just reacted to a true crime, bro. You know what I'm saying? Reacted to a freaking true crime, bro. So I had to change that over to the left side of the screen, but thumbnail time. Had to get it in. He said, I felt the pain. Switch the booty, switch the booty. Bro said, I felt the pain.
Really knowing people. You may think you have a good read on someone, but in reality, you have no idea what they're thinking or what they're capable of.
Facts.
This happened maybe 4 or 5 years ago. The struggle of everyday life was starting to wear thin on me and my girlfriend, Stacy. She suggested that we rent a cabin out in the woods just to escape for a few days. Naturally, I loved the idea, but I wasn't exactly rolling in the cash. So she floated another idea. My best friend Randy and his girlfriend were close to us, so she suggested that they come with us to make it like a couple's getaway. It would be fun hanging out, and they would be able to pay for half the trip. I loved the idea, and when I presented it to Randy, he was on board immediately.
You know, one thing I realized that you like, I can literally disappear off the planet Earth. I can disappear off the planet Earth. Like, if you want to disappear, you could really disappear. Like, really talk about it, y'all. Like, think about it, y'all. If I want to clear out all my bank account right now, just disappear. You know what I mean? Not pay no bill, not pay nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just not pay anything. What they gonna do? You know what I mean? If I just want to disappear, you know what I mean? Not pay a single bill. You know what I mean? And just take all my money and just disappear. You know what I'm saying? You can disappear. You know that, right? A lot of y'all think I can't disappear because I got to pay this, I pay this. What if you just disappear and just say, F this, F these bills, and just go? Just leave. You know what I mean? The stuff that you have won't be with you, but you could just disappear. And this and all that, no, we'll track you down, junk. Hey, I'm trying to tell you, bro, when it comes to humans, bro, it's always a way around everything. Y'all just don't think they ain't God. See, there's no way around God, bro. He sees everything. But when it comes to humans, bro, it's a way around humans, bro. And I'm gonna tell you, the only way they can track you, bro, is devices. You know what I mean? I break every single device. I freaking, cause like I said, that's why I say I have straight cash on me, cause I never know when I have to. I advise everybody, you know what I'm saying, to have more cash on you than you do in your bank accounts. You know what I mean? You know, it's some people that have bank accounts only have all their money in one bank account. I got more than one bank account, bro. You know what I mean? My money is spread it out. But I have more cash on me because I never know if I'm gonna need just cash. You know what I mean? What if some mother effers what if some powerful mother effers after me? You know what I'm saying? I can't use my debit card. You know what I mean? Well, if that's the case, okay, I got money on the side right here. You know what I mean? It's always thinking 10 steps ahead. But bro, you won't be able to track me down at all, bro, if I just tear up these devices. If I don't use a debit card, you know what I mean? And I don't have no phone, I don't have no type of device, you ain't gonna know where the freak I'm at. They tracking you just off this device right here. They tracking me right here. You know what I mean? They tracking me off this iPhone. I break that iPhone, bro. I break this computer, bro, and I don't use a debit card. They ain't gonna find me at all. And I take that license plate off my dang car. You ain't gonna find me. You ain't gonna find me at all, okay?
Since we were taking this trip in the middle of winter, we wanted a cabin with a fireplace and somewhere that would just give us that warm and cozy feeling.
Bro, I'm talking about disappear from everybody. Nobody know where the freak you at. I feel like it's some people that's missing right now that just disappeared. Like when you go into Walmart, bro, and you see people missing, bro, I feel like some of them mother effers just disappeared. I don't feel like some of the mother effers missing. I feel like some of the mother effers just don't want to be found. You know what I mean? I'm just keeping it real. I've done story where somebody just ran away. They just ran away. And they put out a missing person report. The whole time this mother effer just ran away.
Stacy found a place, and we booked it for the end of that month.
Just keeping it busy.
And started planning meals and other fun stuff to do at the cabin. Less than a week until the trip, Randy and his girlfriend broke up. The breakup was sudden, and it didn't end well. Stacy and I tried to figure out if we should offer Randy his money back or just not say anything. We really didn't have the funds to do this alone, but it's also not fair to make Randy pay for half a trip that he's not even going on. I called Randy to talk about it, and he told me not to worry about it. I offered several times to give him his money back, but he insisted that we still go and have a romantic getaway.
Bro, take the money, bro.
When I told Stacy the news, she was excited, and we started getting pumped for our trip alone. The next day, which was only a few days before the trip, Randy told me that he found someone else to go on the trip with us.
What?
I told him that I wasn't crazy about that idea.
Yeah, I'm good, bro. Hey, I'm good. Just tell him word up. Hey, I'm good, Randy, bro. Hey, Randy, I'm saying I'm good, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm good, gang. You know what I'm saying? I'm straight, bro. You know what I mean? Don't just put nobody on me like this. You know what I mean? Don't just put nobody on me. You know what I mean? I'm good. If it ain't you and your girl, bro, I'm good, bro.
When Stacy heard, she agreed.
I'm saying, bro, what's up?
I didn't really want to travel with some random rebound that even Randy barely knew. I tried explaining to him that travel compatibility is a real thing and that we know nothing about this woman. Randy begged, and after a few minutes, he talked me into it. He offered to pay for my entire portion of the trip, and he promised that his new girlfriend would be cool and that we would love her. Stacy and I were not happy. We knew the trip had the potential to end in awkward disaster. That alone would be a horror story. It took a little while, but we decided that we were going to make the best of this situation.
Hey, Randy, bro, you got a new girl fast, this?
The weekend finally arrived, and we carpooled to the cabin together in my truck. Randy introduced us to his new girlfriend, Lucy. She seemed sweet and even a little quiet. Stacy and I are not shy, and we can be loud and annoying. We spent most of the drive trying to get to know Lucy, but she wasn't very talkative. I barely knew what her voice sounded like by the time we got to the cabin. The trip started fine. We all got settled in, and we were just hanging around the fireplace chatting. Stacy and I love playing card games, but we especially love Uno.
Uno.
We just love its simplicity, and we could play it just about anywhere and anytime.
Bro, my freaking ex-girlfriend was crazy at Uno, bro. My ex-girlfriend, bro, my last girlfriend I had, bro, she was freaking like, bro. When I mean y'all the bet, and y'all, I'm good at Uno, bro. You know what I'm saying? You said Uno overrated. I gotta disagree, but that's your opinion. But bro, freaking bro, I am good at Uno, bro. My ex-girlfriend, bro, was putting straight switch to booty on me on Uno. I was getting mad, bro. I was like, she laughing, like we was really like being competitive, bro. You know what I'm saying? Her career, but it was being competitive, bro. Like I was getting like heated a little bit. I was like, hold on, bro. Like, first of all, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking I'm finna, you know, put switch to booty on it. You know, I'm like, you know, and then she kept on putting switch. I'm like, hold on. I started locking in a little bit. Then she putting switch to booty. I'm like, hold on, all right. +4, +4, +4. I'm talking about hitting on some +4. She come back +4, +4, +2, +2, skip, reverse. Hold on. You know what I'm saying? I was getting heated up in there. You know what I'm saying? I was like, hold on. Hey, what's going on, bro? You know what I mean? And she's just laughing and laughing. I'm like, hold on, gang, hold on. I'm locking in. I was getting straight switch to booty.
So Stacy suggested that we play Uno.
Bro, that girl was cold at Uno, but I ain't gonna count.
Lucy seemed like she was finally starting to come out of her shell. During the Uno game.
+2, but Shadow hit me with a lot of +2s, reverses, and +4s. I'm like, what the heck is Shadow getting +2s and +4s and reverses and skip? Oh, God.
We witnessed our first red flag.
She cheating, and she cheating with the shuffling, and she cheating with the shuffling around his mother house.
Weekend. When Stacy called Uno, indicating that she only had one card left, Lucy looked over at her, and with rage and anger in her normally mousy voice, she started to rip into Stacy. We all kind of laughed at first, thinking she was kidding around, but that made it so much worse. Lucy started to go insane. She was screaming that Stacy must have been cheating, and there's no way she could have only had one card left.
And Randy, bro, Lucy tweaking, bro.
Stacy was defending herself, and Lucy just kept acting like a toddler and screaming about her cheating. I'm not being sarcastic when I say she was screaming about Uno with people she barely knew. Even if Stacy was cheating, which she wasn't, this was an outrageous overreaction. When Randy tried to calm her down, she threw all her cards and left the living room. He apologized to us, and we just laughed it off.
See, one thing about me, bro, I'm not somebody that fake it, bro. I'm not finna fake it with you. Hey, bro, if I feel like you weird, bro, you gonna know I feel like you weird, bro. Hey, Randy, let me talk to you right quick. Hey, bro, your girl weird as freak, bro. Hey, get out of here, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna laugh it out. I'm telling you, if I feel like, bro, I'm telling you, if I don't F with you, bro, you gonna know I don't F with you, bro. I'm not the fake laughing type, bro. You gonna know, like, if I don't F with you, bro. You know what I'm saying? You gonna know that jump. So Lucy would have knew, word up. I ain't gonna lie, you screaming at my girl. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, Randy, bro, check your girl, bro. You know what I'm saying? Word up. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Lucy, bro. Watch your tone, Lucy. Hey, first of all, I would have had to go to my boy Randy, because I'm not finna check you with my boy Randy, right? Hey, Randy, you think you can check your girl Lucy right now? You know what I'm saying? Because Lucy tweaking or something. Hey, Randy, check your girl Lucy, bro. You feel me? Straight up. Because we weren't supposed to go to this trip with Lucy. We and her were supposed to be alone.
Stacy made dinner, and Lucy seemed completely fine now. Almost like she didn't throw a temper tantrum a few hours ago.
Mother for bipolar or something?
This is red flag number 2. While we were eating, Lucy started to overshare details about her and Randy's personal time together. Things you don't say to others in public. Like very private and personal things that I'm not going to mention in the story for Randy's sake.
Yeah, don't mention that jump.
I could tell he was embarrassed. I just kept trying to crack jokes and change the subject. Eventually she stopped, and the 4 of us didn't do much for the rest of the evening. That night, Stacy woke me up in the middle of the night and told me to listen. I got up, and I could hear Lucy and Randy arguing. I couldn't fully understand what they were saying because the bedrooms were on opposite ends of the cabin, and we had our door closed. I could just tell by the tone of the arguing and inflection in the voices that they were clearly fighting. The awkwardness of this was crazy, and we didn't want to make Randy feel any worse, so we pretended that we didn't hear it, and we decided not to mention it the next day. The next morning and day were uneventful. Randy seemed distant, and we barely saw or heard from Lucy. It wasn't until that night that things got weird. At some point in the middle of the night, I woke up to Randy standing over me. It scared the hell out of me. I asked him what he was doing, and he looked terrified. He asked if he could stay in our room tonight and if we could keep the door locked. I was confused and asked him if he could explain why. Apparently, he woke up during the night and Lucy was standing at the bottom of the bed, just staring at him. When he asked what she was doing, she just shrugged and said that she was watching him sleep just in case.
Hey, man. Hey, man. Watch his sleep. Hey, bro. Like I said, hey, gang, with none of that weird junk. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all, bro. Them women be crazy, gang. I'm trying to tell y'all, bro, for real. You know what I'm saying? Got some women that's watching this video probably right now, bro, freaking crazy as heck. Like I said, hey, bro. Hey, women, bro, stop, bro. I'm trying to tell you, bro. I'm already knowing y'all game, bro. You know what I'm saying? You crazy as heck, bro. I'm going to keep it real with you. That little pretty junk and all that, I'm telling you, bro. You crazy, bro. You know what I mean? I'm telling y'all, bro. Women is crazy, bro. I'm trying to tell y'all, bro. You know what I mean? Don't let that pretty junk fool y'all. I'm telling y'all, there's some pretty devils. I'm telling you, bro. I'm not even being funny, bro. You know what I'm saying? What the hell? Bro, oh, my God, bro. I said the H word, bro. Bro, Lucy got me dang there in front of, come on, gang. What the heck? What the heck is you standing over my dang bed for, bro? You know what I'm saying? Lord, forgive me in the name of Jesus. I want to repent for cussing, Father, in the name of Jesus. But God, Lucy is pissing me off. You know what I'm saying? What the heck is you doing standing over my dang bed, man? And then when I wake up and ask you why, why the freak are you standing by my bed? You know what I'm saying? You just saying, I don't know, I just want to watch you sleep. No, hey man, that's that weird junk, bro. I ain't with that weird junk. I ain't gonna lie, I told you, bro. When it comes to weird stuff, I don't like that weird junk.
Whatever that means.
You want to watch me sleep?
We stared at each other for a moment, and then she just turned and walked out of the room. Several minutes later, she still didn't return to the room. He decided to get up and go check on her and make sure she was okay. And that's when he noticed something on her side of the bed. He moved the blanket a little bit, and right there on the bed was a large knife. That's when he decided to sneak over to our room. He quietly walked through the dark cabin, trying not to make a noise. When he got to the living room, he heard Lucy humming to herself and wandering around like she was almost dancing. He said it kind of looked like she was sleepwalking, but worse. When she was almost at our bedroom door, the floor creaked subtly and she stopped humming. She turned to his general direction, and in an ominous voice, she said, "I see you." Randy said that it didn't even look like she was looking at him, just in his direction. After that, she turned around and continued to hum and skip around the dark cabin. That's when he entered our room and locked the door. I was trying to process all of this, and at the same time, Stacy woke up. We were in the middle of nowhere, so we didn't really know what to do. Lucy could have very well just been in some sort of elaborate sleepwalking state, but I don't know if that explains the knife. While we were contemplating, we could still hear Lucy pacing around the cabin. A few minutes later, we heard the front door to the cabin slam shut. We opened the bedroom door, and Lucy wasn't there. Randy looked out of the window and saw Lucy heading into the freezing cold forest with a t-shirt and a pair of shorts on. Randy ran to his bedroom and screamed because the knife was gone.
He finna slash the tires, bro. She finna slash the tires, bro. She trying to kill us, bro. She finna slash them dang tires off the car.
Randy ran to his bedroom and screamed because the knife was gone. Stacy said we had to go out and get her and couldn't just let her wander in the woods in the middle of the night.
Yeah, F Lucy. I'm trying to give a dang about Lucy, bro. I'm trying to tell you, bro. I don't give a dang about Lucy. You gotta go and get her. But you don't get the heck out of my face. You go and get her. I told you we shouldn't brought the hoe in the freaking first place. You know what I'm saying? Talking about gonna get her, but you out your dang mind. Think I finna go get some Lucy, but you out your dang mind. She killed herself, that's on her. I don't give a dang. I mean, better her than us. You know what I'm saying? Did you miss me? You know what I mean? Better her than us. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, all that. And then hold on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Lion's gonna, hey, I'm trying to tell you, whatever your name is, FPTSTTV. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see what I be talking about when it comes to these sports people? You know what I'm saying? Y'all see what I'm talking about? Look at him. You know what I mean? Whole time reacting to scary stuff, and he coming to me. Y'all see, he messing up the vibe. Y'all see this? You know what I mean? Y'all, YouTube, do y'all see this, motherfucker? You know what I mean? Whole time I'm reacting to freaking scary stuff. Lion's going to trash all over your Giants, man. God, man, these sports people, man.
Especially if she was sleepwalking.
Killing the vibe.
He was terrified and wanted nothing to do with his new girlfriend.
But you want us to go in the woods, though. Randy, but you must be at your dang mind think I'm finna go in them dang woods looking for Lucy. You know what I mean? I don't give a dang what Lucy do to herself. What I'm thinking about my dang car. You know what I mean? Lucy finna slash our tires, bro, and try to freaking, you know what I'm saying? Freaking create a freaking massacre. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only reason I'll probably follow Lucy. But y'all already know your boy Jay riding with the 40. I'm ready to give him glory. You know what I mean? You know I'm riding out with that 40 and I'm going to shoot first and I'm not going to ask questions later. Lucy! Lucy! Just trying to check if you all right, Lucy! The whole time, I don't give a dang if she all right. I'm just trying to pop some. You know what I'm saying? Lucy, just scream once if you need help. Lucy!
Stacy went back to our room and started putting on warm clothes and a jacket.
Y'all stupid,
Randy
bro.
was pleading with her to just call a park ranger or something.
Stacy,
I've known Randy my entire life, and I've never seen him this scared. During our brief discussion in the bedroom, we heard the cabin door open and
Lucy
close.
back.
We all got quiet and listened intently. We heard Lucy stomping down the hall toward her and Randy's bedroom. She was still humming. We stayed in our bedroom that night and didn't sleep at all. At 6 in the morning, we heard Lucy in the kitchen washing dishes. We all went out there, and she greeted us like nothing was wrong. Stacy and I chalked this all up to Lucy just being a bit off, and Randy going through some of his own issues since he had just broken up with his long-term girlfriend before this trip.
I was just saying that, like, gang, you just got a new girlfriend that quick. That kind of like set some red flags off my head a little bit. I'm like, shawty, did you just have a girl? Cause you're not even processing right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, do you even really know Lucy for real? Can we start normalizing knowing somebody before getting a relationship? I feel like the best relationships is when we first start being friends. Can we just normalize being friends first and then scarring off the lot into a relationship? Cub was just in a relationship. I knew I wasn't tweaking. Cub was just in a relationship. Next minute I know that motherfucker back in another relationship. You know what I'm saying? Dang, bro, you ain't even healed from her yet.
Everything we experienced the night before was weird for sure, but it could be explained by sleepwalking or something like that.
Man, look, oh, they go trying to explain
that something darker was at play here, but Stacy dismissed it right away.
Stacy, man, your girl's stupid, bro.
She went to help Lucy clean, and I tried to console Randy the best I could before he went back to his bedroom. Not 2 minutes later, he texted me and told me to go to his bedroom right now and not to tell anyone. I went over there, and he showed me something horrifying. While he was packing up his stuff, he moved Lucy's bag. When he set her bag down, a large knife fell out of the side, the same knife that Randy saw the night before. I could see and feel how scared Randy was. He put the knife back in her bag and waited in the living room for everyone else to be ready to leave. The drive home was full of tension. Just knowing that Lucy had that knife in her bag freaked me out. Thankfully, we made it home safe and physically unharmed. Randy ghosted Lucy after that, and she must not have cared because she never tried to get a hold of him either. Occasionally, Stacy will still try to find Lucy on social media, but she's never had any luck. She's even looked at inmate lockup records and still no Lucy.
Inmate lockup?
There's no record of Lucy existing, making us feel like she was clearly using a fake name. But if that's the case, what did she want? I wonder if she intended to hurt Randy. Truly, I have no idea what to think about that weekend. The fact that she had the knife and there's no record of this woman just makes me think whoever she was, she had dark intentions. I guess it's good that, for whatever reason, she didn't act on them.
But said Lucy wanted the team wipe.
The last few years, I've really separated myself from the rest of the world. I've always been someone who likes to be alone, and I don't love the company of others, except for some very few people in my life.
And that's just real, bro. And like I said, that's real. I remember, like I said, I went out to eat by myself. You know what I'm saying? Pretty sure people will look at you strange. Pretty sure people looked at me strange. You know what I'm saying? Not really. You know, I don't know. I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? But shoot, I went out to eat by myself, bro. I go out to eat by myself. You know what I'm saying? Went to a little freaking what's the name, bro? Hit the bar. You know what I'm saying? And I go to this Longhorns all the time. So my waitress know me, bro. You know what I mean? So she know me. She even follow my, you know what I'm saying, freaking YouTube, bro. You know what I mean? So she know me like she know me. This is just like my waitress and stuff. You know what I mean? But shoot, man, you know, she was like, you know what I mean? You seem very quiet. She was Jamaican. She said, you seem very quiet, you know what I mean? But on YouTube, you're so loud. You know what I'm saying? But nah, she was like, everybody needs a friend. You know what I mean? You know, we be talking and chopping up. And I was like, nah, I don't need no friend. I said, by myself, I feel like I'm with 1 million people. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, bro. By myself, I feel like I'm with 1 million people, bro. I can't explain it. I love myself. I don't ever feel lonely, bro. It's not a time I feel lonely. I feel like I'm with thousands of people. Bro, I'm telling you, the way I like how I love feel lonely, I be like I said, I want a wife. I want a wife, bro, but that's really why, you know what I'm saying? Like I really only had 2 girlfriends, bro, because I just like being like I don't know, bro. I love being alone, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I love being alone. I like my space, bro. Like you ain't gotta worry about me, bro. If you was like my girlfriend being all up on you, gang. We ain't gotta worry about me when like I'm not that type of dude, bro. I like my space, bro. I like my own company. I don't be around nobody, bro. You know what I'm saying? Word up, bro. Either if it's Key, you know what I mean? If it ain't Key, bro, I ain't around nobody, bro. Same thing for Key, bro. Who Key know, I know. You know what I'm saying? Key and Quan. I ain't around Key and Quan, gang. I ain't around nobody. You know what I'm saying? I'm solo dolo, bro. 98% of the time, unless I'm with Key or freaking Quan, bro. Other than that, gang, I ain't around nobody. Just me and Nina. Who the freak is Nina? Shorty with the 40, he ready in his glory. Trying to catch a body and tell his homies a story.
Years ago, I was at the height of my interest.
Shorty with the 40, he ain't playing no games. He trying to catch a body, he trying to make a name.
During this time of my life, I would often find cabins and other secluded places to stay on the weekends whenever I had the funds to make it happen. That may seem ridiculous to some people, but my anxiety for just normal interactions with people was so bad at this point that I would go to those extreme lengths just to be alone.
Yeah, you just a weirdo. You know what I'm saying? One thing about me, I'm a very confident man. You know what I'm saying? So I can have interactions with people. I'm not like that. You know what I mean? That comes right there from being a social media freak. So you're more on social media than you are in tune with real life. So I don't want yeah, your people to think everybody that is quiet and want to be left alone is antisocial. I'm not antisocial. You know what I mean? I'm not antisocial at all, bro. I'm a very confident man, bro. You know, I can articulate myself well, and I can hold a conversation. I don't get anxiety when I start talking to people. I don't get anxiety when I go around a lot of people. I just don't like being around a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Honestly. And I don't like people being around me unless I really know you. You know what I mean? But bro sound like he got some real deal issues, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That ain't normal, bro.
Interactions with people was so bad at this point that I would go to those extreme lengths just to be alone. This extreme habit continued for about 2 years. During that time, something happened at one of my weekend cabin getaways that really freaked me out. The weekend started like any other one. I found a secluded cabin about 2 hours from home.
I told you I don't like woods.
I usually would use that weekend time to hike, spend time outdoors, and mostly just catch up on reading.
Chill out, chat. Chill out.
I love to read, and being out in the wilderness where it's quiet always helps me to relax and concentrate. I arrived Friday evening at the cabin, made a small dinner, read a few chapters of my book, and went to bed early.
Yeah, this is too deep. I can't.
The next morning, I decided to take a long hike. I've always just found peace being outside in nature. Whether it's sunny, rainy, or even snowing, I just love being outside. While I was hiking through the woods, I could hear something behind me. The sound of twigs and branches snapping. You could assume that it was just the sounds of nature, but it sounded almost too deliberate to be natural.
You hear them crows, bro. I ain't gonna lie, something about them crows crowing, bro. I don't like crows, bro. I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. It's something that give me a bad feeling when you just be hearing crows and all that. You know, the most beautiful sound is when you wake up and you hear the birds chirping. When you hear them crows chirping, when you hear them crowing, y'all heard that? Hold on.
The sounds of nature, but it sounded almost too deliberate to be natural.
Oh no, when you hear them crows, man, I don't like them crows, bro. You know what I mean? Something about them crows that sound, I don't like that joke.
I tend to be irrational, so my mind went right away to somebody following me. But every time I turned around and scanned the surroundings, I was completely alone. I kept hiking for a little while longer, but that feeling of paranoia just kept growing. I planned on hiking a little further, but I decided to cut the hike short and head back to the house. I had gotten to a point where I wasn't even enjoying being outside anymore. That night was particularly rough on me. Maybe it was because of all the anxiety I was feeling on the hike earlier, but I just remember being sad. I decided to have a drink, and that turned into a few drinks. Once I started to feel the drinks hitting my system, I felt better, and all that anxiety from earlier slowly disappeared. I tried to read, but instead, I just put on some music and started to vibe. Around 11 that night, I thought I heard a knock at the door. I turned the music off and made my way to the door. The front door was a heavy wooden door with 2 rectangular windows set into it. I looked outside and saw nothing, so I walked away, and before I could sit back down, I heard another knock at the door. I went back over to look out, and this time, someone was standing there, but it was too dark to make out any details. Before I said anything, I turned on the front light, which mostly illuminated the man standing out there. He didn't look scary or disheveled. It was the opposite of that. A clean-cut man with a suit was standing on the other side of the door.
A suit?
He was about 6 feet tall, had an athletic build, and was clean-shaven with a slicked-back haircut. This man was clearly out of place. He looked like he was ready for a business meeting, not a nighttime walk in the woods. I couldn't figure out why a man in a suit would randomly show up to a secluded cabin at 11 p.m.
That's weird as freak, bro.
From my side of the door, I asked the man if he was okay and what he wanted. There was a weird and almost unnatural pause before the man answered. It was almost like he was processing what I was saying before he answered. Then he finally answered and said that he was driving with his girlfriend earlier. He claimed that he had spent hours walking around looking for her, and now he's lost. He asked if he could please come inside so he could call someone for help. On its own, this was alarming and unsettling, just because a random stranger appeared at the door in the middle of the woods. But one of the most unsettling parts of this was his lack of any emotion in his voice. This did not sound like a man who was lost and missing his girlfriend. He sounded completely void of emotion. I told him to back away from the door and wait at the end of the driveway, and that I would call someone for help. He paused again and looked around slowly. With that same lack of energy, he said that he really needed to come inside. Something was outside, and if he didn't get inside for help, he was going to be in trouble.
Well, you're going to be in trouble then, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go and tell you that, bro. You're going to be in trouble then, gang. Hey, man, I said step the freak back from the door, man. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Do we got to do this? Know what I mean? See, I told you, man. Why I got to resort to the 40 so fast, man? I'm gonna have to check my 40 right here, man. Look, why I gotta resort to this, man? Why this always gotta get resulted, man? Step the freak back from the door, man. Just said I'm gonna call somebody for you, bro. Come on, man. Do I gotta turn the suit bloody? No, I mean, step the freak back from the door right now. No, I mean, I'm not finna keep repeating myself with this motherfucker, man. No, I mean, we in the woods right now. You know what I mean? Ain't no cameras around this motherfucker. Oh, it's a good freaking place to bury somebody. You know what I mean? It's a good place to bury you. You know what I mean? So, man, I ain't finna keep repeating myself, bro. Hey, bro, like she said, bro, he or she said, bro, step back from that door, bro.
The tension I felt at this moment is almost indescribable. I told him I was calling the police and that he could either wait outside or leave, but I was not letting him inside the cabin. As I walked away from the door to grab my phone, I heard him say that he wanted to hide inside the cabin. He was in trouble and he needed to hide inside.
Bro.
I grabbed my phone, and that's when he started to aggressively pound on the door. I ran back to the door, and I started to scream some vulgar things at the man outside. In the middle of my rant, I stopped yelling because I heard the man laughing. This was by far the most emotion the man had shown. I looked out the window, and the man had his face practically pressed up against it. His face was just inches away from mine. I nearly fell over from the shock of seeing him so close to me. In a calm voice, he said, "Come on, Victor, just open the door already." Somehow, this stranger in a suit knew my name.
What the freak?
I was frozen for a few seconds, and then without thinking, I dialed 911 and I told them that I was staying at a cabin and a strange man was trying to break in. As soon as I hung up the phone, I looked out the window and nobody was there. For almost 15 minutes, I waited for the police.
Ricky, know your name.
I stopped looking out the window. During that time, I didn't see any movement outside. It was one single patrol car, and when he got there, I opened the door and let him in quickly. I told the cop everything, and he seemed concerned and confused. He told me that none of the other surrounding residents reported anything weird, and this was the first time he had ever gotten a call like this. The cop was nice and could tell that I was a nervous wreck. He suggested that I drive into town and stay at one of the hotels if I was still scared. I told him that I had been drinking and that I didn't feel comfortable driving my car, but I didn't want to stay there alone. He was nice enough to offer to drive me into town. As we were walking to the patrol car, I heard the officer make a weird sound, almost like he was shocked. I asked what was wrong, and he pointed to the tires of my car in the driveway. My tires were deflated, and it looked like they had been slashed. I started to unravel a bit, and the cop did a good job of keeping me as grounded as I could be. He drove me to a nearby hotel and stayed with me in the lobby until I could get in touch with my dad. I stayed in that hotel that night, and my dad came to pick me up in the morning and helped me sort out the details of getting my car towed. The owner of the cabin reached out to me a million times to apologize, but I just didn't care. I wanted this experience to be over. I didn't even ask for a refund. Some people have floated the idea to me that somehow the owner of the cabin was involved in this.
That's what I just said, bro. The owner, bro, cause ain't no way. Like I said, motherfucker, you ain't knowing my name. You know what I'm saying? You know my name, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's a dang problem. Only a few people know my dang name. You know what I'm saying? I think some of y'all probably know my name. Probably slipped up and said it a few times. You know what I'm saying? But I say only y'all. You know what I'm saying? Not that I'm not finna tell a random person my dang name. I ain't gonna lie to you. Know what I mean? Unless it's like a girl or something. I ain't gonna lie. If it's a girl, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, man. Tell them my dang name. I don't like that junk. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I don't like that junk. You really gonna have to tell your name, bro, but I ain't telling my name first. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't saying my name first, gang. I mean, I don't know. I don't like saying my name. I don't like you know. I was saying, y'all, I don't like people knowing things about me, bro. I don't like you knowing what I do, bro. I don't like you knowing nothing about me, bro. You know what I'm saying? I just don't trust motherfuckers. I tell you my name, bro, and all that. And I feel like if I give you my name, bro, that's too much information, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm kind of mad that some of y'all know my name, bro. I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro.
Or that the owner himself was.
So I know somebody know my name, man. I see somebody I've never known before come up to a cabin. If I see somebody and I don't know that motherfucker, I'm gonna take it as it's probably one of y'all. You know what I mean? This motherfucker right here probably knows somebody close to me. You know what I mean? Straight up. You know, and like I said, I hope it ain't one of y'all, man. You know what I mean? That just come up to me on some weird junk, bro. Say my name like that. I'm a God, subscribers.
In the suit, but I don't think so. The man had a picture of him.
I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? I don't want to do it to y'all, bro. Do I got to do it? I mean, I'm gonna say, y'all, if y'all ever seen me in real life, y'all, come on, just show love, man, please. I don't want to do it, man.
On his profile,
Let's
the man
be
in the
cool.
suit looked nothing like this guy. I
Be
never
cool.
got any answers, and I'm sure I never will.
I don't want to do it
I
to
still
y'all.
get chills to this day when I think about that night. Even seeing those stupid prism windows freaks me out. I hate knowing that somewhere out there, this man is potentially still terrorizing people.
Bro pulled up in a suit, y'all. Cub pulled up in a suit. Freak, how long have I been streaming, chat? Cub pulled up in a suit.
About 6 months ago, my father passed away.
Ah, man.
I'm not looking for any sympathy or anything like that. I didn't have a good relationship with the man. He wasn't a bad guy. He just didn't know how to be a proper father to me specifically. At a very young age, I realized that I was nothing like him. I knew I wasn't going to become the person he wanted me to be, and I know that bothered him, even if it was just subconscious. Fast forward to 6 months ago when my father passed, and I was surprised to see that he left me his cabin in his will. I've had friends tell me that this was my father playing one last joke on me, but I don't think that's the case. I think he knew I would sell it, and I think that's what he wanted me to do. After some of the boring paperwork details, I was told that to sell it, I needed to go and clean it up and maybe fix some of the things that needed work. I used that as an excuse to stay at the cabin one last time. This was my way of saying goodbye to my father. When I arrived at the cabin, the first thing I noticed was the horrific smell. It smelled like death in there, and no, he didn't pass away in the cabin. He actually hadn't been to the cabin in almost a year before he died. I looked around for any dead animals, but I think the place just stunk from years of not being cleaned properly.
I don't know, a dead man giving me a cabin, man. I know that's my father and everything, but he dead. And then I walk in and I smell death. I'm Pop died of this mother. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? Just you know, that sits wrong with me right there. That's what I said. One thing about mama gonna be in a nursing home. I'm gonna give her the best nursing home. Pops, I'm gonna give him the best nursing home known to mankind. You know what I mean? But one thing that my mama and dad not doing, you not dying in my household. You know what I'm saying? You think I can live around here knowing that you died in the next room? Oh, I can't have your spirit around here like that. You know what I'm saying? So mom and dad, if you're gonna die, you gotta die in that nursing home. You can't die up in here. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it real. And like I said, mama, I think my mom watched some of my videos a little bit. Mama, you gonna be good? I'm gonna give you the best nursing home in the dang country. I promise you, mama, you gonna be good. But mama, you can't die up in here though.
The next thing I noticed
Did you miss me?
was that the cabin looked exactly how I remembered it looking when I was 10. He still had the same setup, the same gross couches, the same bookshelves. Literally everything was the same. I spent a few hours downstairs deep cleaning every inch of that place. Luckily, my father fixed the roof a few years ago, so that was the one thing I didn't need to worry about. While I was going over my checklist of things I wanted and needed to do, I kept hearing noises coming from above me, like the sound of rustling and movement. That's when I remembered that he had an attic in this cabin.
Dang, bro.
Attic might be a stretch. It's really like a mix of an attic and a crawl space, almost like it doesn't know exactly what it wants to be. There's a back hallway in the cabin, and located on the ceiling in the back hall is a pull-down cord. When you pull the cord, the door opens and one of the retractable ladders comes down. I slowly started going up the ladder, and I was prepared to be attacked by a legion of raccoons or squirrels. Instead, I was attacked by an even more foul smell than before. I started.
Bro, what's your dad? Didn't kill somebody or something? Dad was a murderer, bro? Know what I'm saying? I hope your dad wasn't no murderer, bro.
to cough from the horrible smell in the attic. After my coughing spell, I looked around and was disgusted. There were boxes everywhere, but the worst part was that there was trash all over the place. Wrappers from food, empty beer cans, and just garbage everywhere. I knew my dad was not the cleanest person, but I also didn't think my dad was this messy and disgusting. I picked up some of the trash.
Dang, a little respect, man. A little respect for your old man. Your old man gone, man.
But I only stayed up there for a little bit. The smell was horrible, and I was tired from cleaning downstairs. I wasn't mentally prepared to go through all the boxes and deal with the upstairs at that moment. I took out a bunch of trash and decided that I would clean upstairs tomorrow. Not long after, I went to bed. I put some of my clean sheets on his bed and slept in his old room. I woke up during the night because I thought I heard the sound of rustling again. I started to think that maybe the walls had some kind of animal infestation. That would explain why I kept hearing movement, and if animals were living in the walls, maybe animals were also dying in the walls, and that would explain the smell. The only problem with my theory was that the sounds I kept hearing were clearly coming from above my head in the attic, Since I wasn't sleeping very well, I decided to plug my nose and go check it out. When I got to the back hall, I noticed that the attic door latch was open and the ladder was hanging down. I thought that was weird, but totally possible that I didn't shut the door all the way, and maybe the wind or raccoons knocked it down. When I went to latch the door, I noticed another snack food wrapper on the ground at the base of the ladder. I couldn't believe there was more trash. I picked it up, stormed into the kitchen angrily, and threw the trash away. I grabbed a water bottle, went to the living room, and sat on the couch. It was dark in the living room, and I knew I wasn't going to fall asleep again, so I decided to stay awake. He had a small end table next to the couch with a little lamp on it. I turned on the lamp, and it wasn't very strong. It was a low orange light, but it was enough for right now, just enough so I didn't have to sit in complete darkness. I started to think about my father. Then I started thinking about my father in this cabin. I was thinking to myself, why would he ever hang out in that nasty, dirty attic when he has the entire cabin to himself? Even though the cabin was disgusting, it was a lot nicer than a dirty attic. While I was sitting there, I looked over to the corner of the room, and I saw something weird. It looked like a blanket covering something next to the recliner. That alone wouldn't be weird. What was weird is that I cleaned that entire downstairs earlier, and I don't remember a blanket covering anything. I slowly got up and started to approach the blanket. I froze in my tracks. I was a couple feet away from the blanket, and I noticed something that looked like the bottom of a boot protruding from the blanket. I slowly took a step back and tried to focus my eyes in the mostly dark room. I was staring right at the blanket, and I watched the entire blanket shift. It was clear to me that someone was under this blanket. I wasn't hearing animals earlier. I was listening to the sound of a person moving around. I stood there for a second, just watching the blanket. The more I stared at it, the more I realized how obvious it was that a person was hiding there. I could clearly see the blanket moving up and down from whoever was breathing underneath the blanket. I didn't want to find anything else out about this person. I slowly retreated to the kitchen, grabbed my phone and keys, and sprinted out of the cabin. I ran to my car and started it, and started backing down the long driveway. While I was backing out, I looked up and saw a scary-looking, mangy man run out the door. He didn't chase my car or anything, he just ran outside and stood in front of the cabin. I called the local police department and reported this to them.
You could have a cabin,
They told me that because my father hadn't been living in the cabin for some time, some random person probably moved in there for warmth, and when nobody ever came to the cabin, he probably just stayed. Judging by the smell, he figured that the man was probably there for at least a year, which makes sense because my father hadn't been to the cabin in a while before he passed away. By the time the police showed up, the man was gone. I have no other information about who the man was, where he came from, or where he went.
Bro was just homeless, probably.
I don't think he intended to hurt me unless he had to. He clearly had a lot of chances and didn't do anything. But it doesn't change the fact that I was sitting next to a strange man who had been living in filth in my father's attic. I never took another step inside that cabin after that night. I hired someone to clean it out without even telling them. Maybe that makes me a jerk. They got rid of everything inside, and I sold it as is. I hope whoever owns the cabin now is as happy as my father was in that place, and that they never have to deal with a surprise visitor.
Right there was crazy, man. I mean, the heck with that cabin, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, long live your father, though. Long live your father, though. You know what I'm saying? It's a very tragic and unfortunate moment. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, my mom and dad dies, man. That's gonna be a very sad moment. But I realize, everybody has to die, bro. So it's something that I'm just like, coming from somebody that lost somebody close to him, man. And been seeing death as a young child. It's